poster by some rich kids near the cap. As time went on, we figured out it was totally uncool to eat the welfare lunch provided by the school. So in poser punker fashion, we just mooched off all the kids and lived off eating candy bars and bags of nacho chips. Monday hot dog, Tuesday taco, Wednesday hamburgers and chocolate milk, Thursday sloppy joes and burritos in a bag. Friday was pizza day, the best day of the week. It always came with salad and a side of broken beans. Hooray for pizza day, hooray for pizza day. I miss pizza day, the best day of the week.
What's cracklin' porkers? My name is Matt Connolly, and welcome to Just Guy Things, the world's first and foremost fan cast for diners, drive-ins, and dives. And we're doing an unprecedented episode. First off, because we're back, and second off, because it's just boys today. We've got a boys club, boys only.
Only
with
boys.
David. Yep. We have sent Jennifer off to Italy. Because
she's icky.
Because she's icky. She's got the cooties. Because she's a girl.
Yeah.
She's actually in the land of the fairies, the Fietis.
Italy?
You remember that? Yeah. You remember that one time when we talked about where Guy Fieri's Gramp came from?
Originally the fairies.
He came from ye old Italy. Hello, Governor.
And here I was thinking he was just independently greasy and gross, but...
Starting it off with a showstopper, calling all Italians greasy and gross. David Corsi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It has been far too long.
Yeah, we're a little punchy. My glasses are fogging up. Jesus Christ.
I have energy.
Woo! Okay. We're on episode 5, I believe.
6.
6. We're on episode 6.
I don't know.
No, okay, so we're 6 canonically, but we're on episode 5 of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
What?
Correct?
I don't know.
BBQ is episode 4?
My notes are just labeled... Fuck, I dropped my microphone.
Okay.
My notes are just labeled episode 6, so I don't know.
As long as we Facebook messaged throughout the entire day about this garbage episode, so I'm pretty sure we're watching the same one. So whatever, you chowhounds, figure it out. We're back and we don't care.
Woo!
Woo! 1946, Worcester Diner Car Company delivered car 790 to Gardiner, Maine. And that restaurant was A1 Diner.
A1 Diner.
Previously, Heald's Diner. But then that man's dad died and he changed the name.
Yeah, Mike Giverson.
Mike Giverson was the first owner. And then once he died, he was like, you know what? I'm calling it A1 because that's a much cooler name, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think A1 is a cool name at all. Isn't that a steak sauce?
That is a steak sauce, but it is a classic mainstay, as I've found out in a diner culture, as much as the diner car.
Mainstay.
Yeah.
Mainstay. That's where A1 Diner is, and it stays
in Maine. Gardiner, Maine, that is. Guy Fieri travels around with a spoon.
Yeah.
He was eating an egg. No, he wasn't eating an egg. We've learned that he hated eggs. He was eating something off of somebody else's plate.
Always.
Well, always. And he did like a side note to this lady, and he was like, I travel around with this spoon. And she was just forced to laugh as he ate her food.
Aww. This place was weird though. Like their menu was like. I think that chef was really stoned, actually.
Everything. Oh my God, we'll get to the chef.
Kenneth Harrison, yeah.
I've got some deep cuts on Kenneth Harrison that I don't think he wants anybody to know about. But
what?
I know. Before that, everything about this diner is weird. So it is a classic Worcester car diner. Apparently, that's very important because in one of the Yelp reviews that I decided not to read out loud was like, this is an authentic car, and apparently that means something. But otherwise, it's on 30-foot stilts
Yeah,
above a river.
Dangerous as shit.
And it's not like a good job. It's like somebody used like a kinetic set and was just like, they tagged them together on Lincoln Log style and was just like, here you go. And the diner's kind of like going slower and slower into the curb.
Yeah.
Like it's just at an angle where it's going down and in.
It's definitely not level at all. It was concerning, really.
That place looked terrifying. There wasn't like a flat surface in the joint, which means Kenny was just working real hard on the grill.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, Kenny.
Oh, Kenny. So, this place has like a traditional menu that an old man makes. His name is Bob the Hash Man.
Oh,
Bob the Hash Man makes all of the classic mainstays. And then they shove Kenny in the back, and Kenny is a sweet stoned man who just wants to express himself through food.
A little bit too much, actually. I think maybe they gave him a little too much freedom.
Yeah, they gave him an entire menu board, and he was like, "Oh yeah, here we go." He makes like chutneys of various fruits, like curries and chicken, all in like a diner car that you would expect.
Szechuan beef.
Szechuan beef, yes. There was
spicy Asian noodles with shrimp.
Yep.
In the same kitchen that makes like chili dogs and mac and cheese.
In the same kitchen that has had a chef, a cook, sorry, has had a cook that has been working there for literally over half of a century. And he's just up there in the front making just classic foods, and Kenny's going fucking Ratatouille back there trying to create stories and psalms through food.
It was like precarious stoned cheesecake factory. Like they
It was. Oh, that is so perfect. Kenny was very stoned, and I wanted to look up Kenneth Harrison. That was his name. It was on the little splash. They didn't give him the full Kenny. Kenneth Harrison is also the name of a serial killer in Boston, Massachusetts in the 1960s called the Giggler. In fact, on one of his telephone calls that was recorded, he just went, "There's a man in a construction site. He's dead in the water." And then he just goes, "The Giggler!" And then after I looked that up, because I looked it up mid-episode, here's Kenny just having a regular conversation about like this Greek-inspired flank roll-up, like this lamb shank roll-up thing.
Yeah, that looked pretty good, but it was also weird.
It was very weird. It was definitely a stoner thing, and here we go.
Nice balance. Cooked perfectly. That's bananas.
Bananas is good.
Was that him giggling?
Yes, it was.
He's the giggler.
He's the giggler. The timeline doesn't make sense, but I think it's like that X-Files episode, like season 1, where the guy just eats people's livers and then goes into a cocoon.
That's a good episode, yeah.
It's X-Files, so anything that's not a movie is a good episode. Heyo,
wow.
Movie critic. We're expanding. Another thing that I found really weird is that Guy Fieri pronounces chicken Marbella perfectly, and yet he calls things with Spanish names like El Pacifico.
Oh.
Which, I mean, he's not fully racist, but it feels a little racist.
Yeah, no. I've always gotten really vague racism vibes from him. It's nothing he's he's done nothing in particular. He just kind of reminds me of like my uncles. So,
yeah,
racist.
If you want to know what a textbook definition of microaggressions are in practice, it's just Guy Fieri.
That's That's a heavy thing to put on Guy Fieri,
but it's accurate, right? I mean, he's not trying to perpetuate it. It's just he's a victim of his circumstance.
Yeah.
Where do you buy all the little letters? Speaking of the special board, Guy Fieri closely inspects the specials board as he's making fun of the Szechuan beef, and the owner says, "You could still buy the white letters." But you can't buy the red letters anymore, so those are precious to me.
Yeah, he says they're precious to me.
Which I find funny because I don't think this guy has heard of paint.
Oh.
Because you could just paint the letters, Holmes, and Sharpie them.
I also
right?
just find it really hard to believe that, like, those are just impossible to get. Like, you're telling me just no one will make those? They're just little letters.
Yeah, maybe he has like a restaurant supply store that he only uses, and now that the restaurant supply store doesn't use them, he doesn't know about the internet or anything like that, so he's just kind of stuck.
Fucking Etsy.com, my dude. Come on, Giberson.
Yeah, his shop is Etsy as fuck. It's all rustic and original. Everything was original. Like, Guy Fieri was just following him around the restaurant while he goes, "These booths are original. This counter's original. Are the tiles original? Yeah, the tiles are original. The roof is mahogany. It's got a mahogany, like, roof feature, which, who cares? It's a diner." In fact, somebody on Yelp complained that because the restaurant was so original, it was just hard to maneuver in. Because he said that he had a leg disability, and he couldn't get in and out of the booths very easily. So, he still rated the place 4 stars. So, it's alright.
Sounds like an undercover chub to me, I'm not gonna lie.
And Charles Styles Mystery Diners Undercover Chub Edition. Hi, I'm Charles Styles. I'm with a company called Mystery Chubbers. And you need at least 36 inches from booth to table on this. Otherwise, you're not even going to fit a 250 pounder in here. And then, so they were inquiring about the reason why they employed the giggler and why they let him give the specials board. And the owner says, "We had to acquire the younger clientele." And then they zoom in on a full-blown dad. He was just wearing like a fleece zip-up, was already balding a little bit, audibly goes wow when food is delivered to him. You know, a dad. And then after they zoom in on the dad, they go back to the dude, and he was like, "And people who are more interested in food." Which is like, you're a diner, so you should already be into those people who like food. And interest in food?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't get the logic behind an interest in food. Like, it's yummy and delicious, and you need it.
I've met a few people who have no interest in food, and it always horrifies me. But they're in like the minority, yeah.
Yeah, like the biohacker people who are just like, "I'm gonna eat soylent," and
that's probably more common where you're from. Yeah, I tried the soylent thing for a while. It made me smell like garbage, and that's really my concern with it.
I ordered soylent, and then I decided the next day that was a very dumb idea, and then I canceled my order. But they still sent it anyway, so my pantry is full of like 2 weeks supply of Soylent, and I don't know what to do with it. Because
have you tried it yet?
I tried it once. No, I tried it twice, and the first time I had it regular, and the second time I added like cocoa powder because they said, "Hey, if it tastes like garbage," in parentheses, it will add cocoa powder to it. And I did, and then it tasted like chocolate garbage. So
I had to add like copious amounts of chocolate syrup to mine, and then I realized that that's like ruining the whole point of it at that point.
Yeah, it's just sugar and pancake batter at that point.
Yeah, which I mean was good, but I could just like get a milkshake or something.
They're doing the same thing to their own batch. I don't know if you see the aggressive money that they're putting into social media.
Their marketing is it's out of hand.
They're like a step below Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm gonna have somebody at my door going like, "Hey, my dude, you hate food, right?" And then, no, look at me. No, I love food. Anyways, they then go into the back after they talk to the old man, and this guy is going to make Kenneth is going to make mojito glazed duck, and Guy opens up his heart and soul to him, and he said that he had some terrible experiences with duck, and then right after he followed up very quickly, like we all have. Which makes me wonder what the fuck happened with Guy and a duck.
Yeah, I also don't think that's true. I think I've had like 3 experiences eating duck in my life, maybe, and they were all fine. Like,
yeah, I haven't had a problem with duck like at all. Mainly that's because I'm like, I'm not gonna eat that much duck.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. It's just, it's all dark meat, and I've got a little baby mouth, so I only like white meat from birds because, I don't know, I hate flavor, I guess.
I thought when you said you have a little baby mouth, you just meant like a very small mouth. Like it's hard.
Then that gets weird and also racist and sexual. Because, like, I can't fit dark meat in my mouth.
Oh,
right?
Man.
Yeah.
I don't like the direction of this cast.
This is the problem inherent with a boys-only cast.
Yeah.
And that's why we need Jennifer back in the group. Also, Jennifer did a lot of work on Yelp.
Yeah. Oh, God. I didn't realize how much.
It was her cross to bear, literally. Like, it felt terrible. It felt like some sort of penance that we had to do.
I was like, oh, it's not so bad. Like, I've used Yelp before. There's usually like 20 reviews for a place, not on places that were on Triple D. I think I went through like 600 reviews today.
I went through I think I went through about like 200 or so. And just everyone loves either jumping onto the Triple D bandwagon pre-2010. Pre-2010, you got a lot of people who were very into Triple D. And then post-2010, when it became in vogue to hate Guy Fieri, then there are people like, usually I don't like Guy Fieri. He knows nothing. He's a piece of shit. 3 stars.
or some people who seem like they just went there because they hate Guy Fieri so much that they like wanted to be unimpressed by somewhere he liked. Like, they went out of their way just to go to a place he enjoyed so they could be like, fuck you, Guy Fieri, I hated it.
I'm not gay. I'm so not gay. I'm gonna kiss this dude. Like, kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. Guy Fieri also says money hash, which confirms my suspicions that Guy is a fucking huge stoner.
Yeah. I think him and Kenneth were
smoking the doob in the walk-in,
hitting up the joints. Because they had some like weird inside jokes too. Like, I don't remember what Guy said, but I think it was Kenneth yelled like, "I conquer you, duck," after cooking the duck.
Oh yeah, no, it was it was Guy that yelled, "I conquer you, duck." Yeah, but it was like, yeah, I beat this duck. The duck didn't beat me this time. And then Guy was like, yeah, you conquered it. I conquer you, duck.
Yeah, he did a weird voice.
He did like a Jeff Dunham impression, and I was like, oh yeah, Guy is definitely a Jeff Dunham fan. Yeah. Like, that's his core base. Speaking of which, I've got this IPO, this business that I want to this LLC that I want to start with Guy Fieri, and I think it'll be really good. So, you've heard of these Jimmy Buffett like parrot cruises, where they go from like Florida to like Bermuda.
Yeah.
I think Guy Fieri could definitely do like a Fieri cruise where Kid Rock's on there and Jeff Dunham is doing the entertainment. We could get
Gabriel Iglesias is there.
Gabriel Iglesias.
He just does the fat, fluffy, whatever bit, and then just leaves.
Yeah,
it's just
no.
like 7 minutes of that, and that's it. That's all.
Yeah,
the
once they start figuring out that he's a Latinx male, that he's just gonna.
Actually, you know what might make it work better to appeal to the probably racist Guy Fieri fans? Just have Jeff Dunham have a Gabriel Iglesias puppet. That way he could be racist with it and still, make fun of fat people.
I think you are forgetting about the jalapeno on a stick character that Jeff Dunham has.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the same shtick, right? Sorry. I used stick and shtick together. But I think that's the same character. Like, you name a race and Jeff Dunham probably has a pretty offensive puppet in his closet.
Yeah. That's a scary thought, is Jeff Dunham's closet.
Yeah, like, because you hear about people that tour, like, the Muppet Factory.
Yeah.
Like, children touring, like, the Muppet Place, and they see all of these fucking Muppets just strawn across the roof, just dangling lifeless in a crucified T-pose, and just being mortified.
Yeah.
And those are, like, nice puppets. They're not freaky, crazy, scary ones.
Yeah, and Jeff Dunham clearly has like a low bar for standards, so there must be like some reject puppets he's kept. And what do those look like?
What do those look like? Because one is literally a jalapeno on the stick. The next one is a purple dude with green hair that just goes and .com. And then there's another puppet that just has big boobs. He's got a big boob puppet. I've never seen a puppet with big tits before, and he was the innovator of that.
He sat down with his wife and was like, "Honey, I've got a new puppet I want you to see."
Now don't freak out. God damn it, Jeff Dunham. So, speaking of Bob the Hashman, he is an SNL character. It's fucking great. He refuses to make eye contact with, guy contact. He doesn't look at the camera at all. Guy Fieri just asks him how long he's been there. And then he has to follow it up with, "You've been here for over half a century." And Bob the Hashman just goes like, "Yeah. Yeah," and he's like staring off into the middle distance, and it's so good. Oh yeah. God, he's got the old man hunch and like the underbite, but all of his teeth. He's just an adorable man that should not be working there.
No,
56 years.
Should be retired. He also, Guy Fieri asked him "Oh, you're the only one who knows how to make these hash browns?" And he's like, "Yep." And he's like, that's great. Great job security. And the guy just 1,000 yards stared off into the distance, like, "I'm gonna die soon." It was in that moment he realized he should probably teach someone else how to make the hash browns.
Otherwise, his legacy will die with him.
Yeah.
I think he was, before we were formally introduced to the Money Hash Man, he was asked about the banana walnut pancakes. And Guy Fieri goes, "Whose recipe is this?" And the man responds with, "Our recipe for years." Like somebody else on the turf. Somebody else in Gardner, Maine has this weird kind of New York style pizza beef with him and his banana walnut pancakes. It's banana and walnut. It's not a hard combo to throw in there. There's not much you can do.
That's not that weird.
You literally give away the ingredients in the name. And then there's a chicken pot pie with no bottom crust that offends Guy to all of his senses. Apparently, you're supposed to make a chicken pot pie with a bottom crust, and if you don't do it, then Guy Fieri will yell at you for what seemed like 15 minutes.
Yeah. It was about 2/3 of the episode. Actually,
it was about 2/3 of the episode. Guy Fieri says, "Fuck." What did he say? He said he did some carb pun, and I can't remember what it was.
Oh man, yeah, no, I have no idea.
Carbaholic? Probably something like
Probably let's assume it's that.
that. You can't live without that sweet, sweet carbahol. Speaking of carbonated hall, the waitress at the end of the little bit says, "Root beer and duck. You can only do that at this diner," like it was part of her shtick. And I was so glad that they just ended it and didn't interview her at all, because she seemed terrible.
Awful. Just like a horrible slug of a woman. Just
let's woman bash more on this podcast. This is fun.
Yeah. No one is here to stop us, so
no one is here to stop us or listen to it, so that's fun. And then before we leave from the chicken pot pie, Kenneth and Guy definitely smoked a bowl together. Yeah. Because Guy's in front of the counter. He's going in with his spoon that he apparently travels with at all times. And Kenneth like bellies up to the bar and starts forking and eating his side of it too. Like they share the little dish, which is I think that's like the stoner communion, you know? Like you share a piece, you share my piece because, you know, we're smoking out of this bowl and we're going to eat out of the same bowl too. And it was cute. I haven't seen Guy Fieri like share food with people. I've only seen him take it away from other people, so it was kind of nice.
Yeah, no, Guy and Kenneth had great chemistry. I feel like they are probably pen pals now.
Oh, I fucking hope so.
Yeah.
I looked to see if Kenneth was still there at that restaurant, and I can neither confirm nor deny, but I hope he's stayed there and like bought the restaurant from the owner, or he's like doing bigger and better things. Our
main fans, or just people who know Kenneth, reach out to us. Let us know how Kenneth is doing. Kenneth, if you're listening,
don't murder me.
Get in touch.
First off, don't get in touch. Don't murder me. I swear to God, if I hear giggling outside of my apartment, I'm going to lock all of the doors and go into my panic room. Contact Matt and make sure you giggle a lot. Send an email and then just attach just a file. A WAV. A WAV. A WAV or a wave. An ogvorbis. I need that lossless. Give me that FLAC. I need to hear your oaky timbre with into the deep cuts of audio formats here. I stop there. Apple lossless. Yeah. This is about it. Next we move to OKC. Leo's. The owner is Charles Smith. I can only presume that his dad was named Leo. Yeah. Did they mention that? They mention his dad a lot, but I don't think they ever call him Leo. Nope. They just showed a picture of his dead dad and him. Yeah. And that was it. They never said I don't know. That was kind of a weird subject. They talked about his dead dad kind of a lot, but it was obvious that Charles still missed him, and Leo made a big impact on his life, but Guy Fieri or his production team was like, we can't have tearjerker episodes of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives first season. That's a little weird. Yeah. So, within 30 seconds of the episode, Charles Smith is a black man. And within 30 seconds of this episode, Guy does this classic white guy move where it's, how do I shake this black man's hand? And he ends up getting full-on jabbed when he tries to give him the knucks. It was bad. Charles Smith just hits him with a right straight. The whole thing was an uncomfortable moment because, this place is like an old gas station. Mm-hmm. And they're talking about that, and Charles goes, yeah, we filling you up in here, baby. And then they try to do this weird dap thing, and he just kind of gets hit. Charles just gives him a straight on his fist, which is a very manly move. I think that's on that has to be in an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, right? Where he just punches another man's hand, and then the other man's hand just turns to dust. Because that's what happened. Guy Fieri just recoiled and went that was a little harder than I expected it to be. and it was real good. Charles is full of these rhymes. Like, he's got the smooth talking 70s like almost blaxploitation character that he's putting on.
I mean, that's just who he is. I think blaxploitation characters are deriving it from people like Charles, but he is very much that.
Charles is fucking smooth.
Yeah.
So
he
smooth.
was the coolest dude.
So smooth, so cool that he was delivering cake to a Senate building.
Yeah.
And he was wearing jean shorts, and I was like, man, I want to get me some jean shorts. Like, he was rocking them a little bit.
That cake was also not in anything. Like, he was just walking around just with an exposed cake and
exposed cake, but it felt protected within his arms because he had the kind of the football cradle going where you hook it into your body.
Yeah.
And it not an impressive looking cake, but an impressive looking man, and apparently it tastes really good because Guy Fieri goes in on just a full blown cake with his hands, and Guy Fieri says, "Utensils not necessary, right?" And the dude just looks at him and he goes, "Not all the time," which is fun.
I was really confused about Charles and the cake delivery thing. Is that a thing he regularly does? Because he's the head chef.
Yes,
he's the cook.
Yeah, he is the cook.
And he's just walking around delivering single cakes in jorts?
Single cakes in jorts. And the gas station is on, it would be called a paved road in the loosest definition of paved. It was more of just cobblestone or gravel, and far away from everywhere. And when we saw
a place the city forgot about, really. Yeah,
when we saw where he was delivering the cake to, it might have been a different country entirely. It might have been a different state. It looked like he was delivering it to Washington, D.C., which I'm pretty sure is kind of far away from Kansas.
Yeah, it did kind of look like D.C. I've been there, and I can confirm it looked like D.C. I think maybe he was going to the OKC Senate to plead with them and say, can you fix the roads near my business? Because they're garbage, and no one will come here.
Could you make small business loans a little easier for me? Because I'm doing barbecue in a goddamn gas station. Help.
I am the head cook and also the cake delivery man.
Yeah, so you can see that my overhead is a little fucking huge right now. And I would like some help. Maybe get some part-time cake delivery man. And also, why can't we deliver more than just cakes? Since we're already here, why don't we also deliver some pork?
It's weird too that they deliver that cake, because that's like free cake. They give away
a slice at the end of a meal. At the end of dinner, any
meal you get just comes with a free slice of that cake, and they're going out delivering single cakes.
Yes, single cakes, no boxes. I'm wondering how do you put that in the car without that sliding? Unless there's a box that you put in the car, and then because you're walking it. So the reason why he walks it without a case over it is because he wants people to see that he's got good cake.
Yeah.
And people will scream his business when he walks by them with a cake.
Yeah, he said he could walk anywhere in Oklahoma City, and even if he doesn't have his uniform on, if people see that cake, they'll just go, "Leo's! Woo!"
Yeah, that cake is a celebrity, but having such a high celebrity status, you would think he would be less lackadaisical about putting it, in some sort of confinement in the car. But does he just walk? Does he walk that cake there? Does he?
You could just put it in a box that just says Leo's on it, and people would still know, wouldn't they?
Or a picture of the cake is printed on the side of the box. Like Charles, hit me up. I'll figure some logistics out for you, man. Small business loans are the lowest APRs that they've ever been. So
I think he probably drove with one hand and used the other hand to hold the cake.
the other hand to hold a cake, and then he was dictating his rhyming schemes to Siri. Hey Siri, remind me to say enticin' icin' at Guy Fieri while I drizzle icing over a cake. Got that. Thank you.
What a badass.
This guy is Black Dynamite, who just owns a barbecue restaurant. It's insane.
He's good.
Speaking of just like weird archetypical characters, there were two very fat white men who got a plate, and the waiter said double beans on both of them, and these two guys went, "We's like two hogs going to trough."
Yeah, that was like I guess it's good that they're self-aware. But just the most disgusting Gummo-esque shit I've ever seen on television. Like, you know that guy just, like, beats dead cats with a stick when he gets home. Like, I was so grossed out by his existence, but I also was like, he knows, though. He knows.
I sure am uncomfortable with them commingling in my schools, but they do cook some mean beans.
Two hogs going to the trough.
Jesus Christ.
I watched that part like 5 times, I think.
It was too uncomfortable for me to go back to it and watch, just because I wasn't sure that they weren't like animated, like if the diner drive-ins and dives people upped the budget so much that they could do like the opposites attract version of just like or Cool World, or just an animated movie blended in with a live action movie. Why did I pick Cool World instead of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
Anyways, I was just
I personally thought they were like Chuck E. Cheese-esque animatronics.
Right?
That's what I had to check for. I thought they were like weird, like Charles invested some money in weird fat hick robots to chow down on bowls of beans and go, "We're just like pigs, boy."
Yeah, they took them out of the racist Splash Mountain gig at Disney World, like that weird bear country thing that they have roped off that they'll never let you go back into. And they just escaped somehow. Like, Disney's Imagineers were so good at science that they figured out how to make sentient bean-eating robots. Oh god, there was a lot that was disgusting about this building.
Yeah,
the fact that the smoke was palpable, like you had to cut through it.
They had very poor air circulation.
I'm pretty sure if you cut into one of the employees that have been there for, say, 15 years, you could also see a pink ring of smoke into them, which is a textbook trademark of good slow cooking, by the way. I learned that from Guy Fieri.
It seems like a bad idea to have a business that produces that much dangerous smoke, and also your customer base are the group of people who have the worst bodies possible.
Like people who are not allowed on roller coasters, visibly.
It's just like, oh yeah, bring in these uncomfortable people whose lungs are collapsing beneath their own weight, and just, suffocate them to death.
Yeah, no, we know that you have a heart condition. You cannot get on this ride.
Yeah.
No. It's also very dark. There's no lights, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure the production crew just had to bring those like pop-up lights.
Yeah, it was very industrial feeling.
Because it's a goddamn gas station. Again, just do something. Like put the smoker outside, give you some space, move it somewhere. Just do something that doesn't make it so depressing. But this man has a sense of tradition and taking his time. His dad only used short ribs, and so when asked about using baby backs like the rest of OKC does. He says, no, we only use spare ribs because that's what my dad did. He only does black pepper and salt. He cooks his brisket for 17 hours, which is like, in that building, that means that you have to leave that fire pit going overnight.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't seem safe to me, because that thing is just a grease fire. It's a grease fire. It's a grease fire that's not lit yet. Like, if you smoked inside of that building, it will go up like it's a Die Hard movie and you're a villain flicking a cigarette on the ground. The man makes his own sauce, and the vat that they cook it in is goddamn cartoonish. It is about the size of 2 Danny DeVitos. Yeah.
I thought it was just a cement mixer for a second.
It kind of looked like that.
Yeah.
Sans truck. But it was like a Cuisinart, apparently, vat that they make. And it looked to be the size of an oil drum, perhaps, which is like 50 gallons, I think.
Yeah.
50 or 20 gallons?
Probably. 50 or 20?
I don't know. I think... I don't know.
That's a pretty big gap there.
I've got to lay it straight to you. I'm not an oil baron. I know I told you a lot that I am an oil baron.
How are we funding this podcast?
Lots of credit card debt.
Shit.
Guy, of course, tries to eke the sauce recipe out of Charles, and Charles just goes radio silence on him and gives him a death glare. Because Charles predicated it with, hey, this is a family recipe. And Guy Fieri's like, okay, I can taste the ketchup. There's some vinegar in there. And then Charles isn't having it.
He did not like that.
Charles then watches Guy Fieri eat some of this brisket, and he whispers at him, watch your fingers, baby. while Guy is biting into it, which makes me think that either Guy Fieri had already bit his fingers in front of Charles, or that their meat is so good that these weird animatronic robots are just constantly biting their fingers, thinking that there's more meat or beans left when there's not, or that his sauce is so good that it's turning people into cannibals. Those are the 3 options. Auto cannibal. Like, they just continue. Oh, auto can. Nice. I already said Tyson Ison. Do you have anything left about Charles and the OKC Leo's barbecue?
The only other thing I have is a guy stands behind a family and goes, have you ever tried the vegetarian platter here? And it was supposed to be a joke, but they were just like,
what's that?
Vegetarian platter? Like,
they
sounded kind of interested.
That sounds refreshing.
And then he just started like laughing so hard. and they all just looked like morose, like not into it at all. Like, I just wanted some celery. Thanks for hyping it up.
Yeah, maybe some of the celery would brighten up this dank building that I'm in. And then we move on to our last diner, which is Ever Ready in Hyde Park, New York.
Yep. It's on Long Island, right?
What?
I think that's on Long Island. I don't know.
I don't know anything about it. I do know that this place is owned by restaurateurs. I looked up Alex Sarakas, who was the guy that majored in poli-sci.
Oh, yeah.
And I found out that they own up to 21 restaurants in the tri-state area.
Fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing...
So wait, is just that one... Is just Ever Ready, is that the one that, like, all the family works at, and then they just own additional stuff? Or
so
have they
there
just,
are
like...
3 Ever Readys.
What?
This one was the first one. And
man.
Yeah, I think their go-to is naming it Ever Ready, and remodeling it, and then changing the name if they want to change the name. But I felt a little lied to. I need to stop Googling during this podcast. It can't be this well thought out and well researched.
Yeah.
We brought audio clips. We brought in historical facts about the Giggler. And now we've exposed Alex Sarakas as not the blue-collar man that we thought he was.
Not so homey after all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he and his brother looked like they didn't blend in. Because there were all these people like wearing aprons and things, and then this dude and his brother were wearing ties and button-ups.
Yeah.
And it just felt
Something
felt
about
weird.
the whole thing felt a little phony. Like, Uncle Teddy was legit as shit.
Yeah, Uncle Teddy, they kept him in the basement,
In
though.
the basement, yeah.
Yeah. And
But everyone else seemed a little phony.
yeah. There was an uncomfortable scene where somebody was feeding an obvious white supremacist caprese.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking. That guy, like, yeah, no.
He and his wife were so into white power that they only wore white. I don't know if you saw that, but they were like wearing
I did
Hanes
not
white
notice
beefy
that,
tees, and he was wearing white cargo shorts. And yeah, it was very, very weird. There was another lady who made me uncomfortable, who said, "I came here for breakfast with my husband and lunch with my kids."
Oh, what?
Which means she went to the same restaurant twice in one day?
That's gross.
Or she's been there so long that her kids met her there?
Oh.
Yeah. They came in two separate cars? Like, Dad went to eat with Mom, and then Dad got sick of being there and picked up the kids and went like, "You fucking deal with her."
Maybe they split, you know? And he was like, "I'm taking the car. I'm getting out of here.
Oh,
you can have the kids."
Oh, maybe it's like a divorce thing.
Yeah.
But she still said a husband, so she's obviously not over it.
Well, the paperwork hasn't gone through yet. I mean, it just happened.
Yeah.
She had to call her kids to come pick her up from fucking Ever Ready Diner, and they showed up, and she was in tears, and they were like, "Well, Mom, like, we're already here. We're gonna get some lunch."
You cry over in the corner of the booth. We've got these handmade delicious pies that we're looking to get into.
Go explain your divorce in very vague terms to Guy Fieri, Mom. Get out of here.
Speaking of very dark jokes that I'm laughing at, one of the guys who seemed to be like the workhorse of the restaurant, the dude who's lifting 50-pound flour bags and like taking care of the customers and doing everything, he said, "We had no food at home," when Guy asked about what he ate at home.
Yeah,
and then Guy just
weird.
goes like, and that's the end of the scene. Eveready has its own orchard and a full-service bar, to which Guy said, "So someone could have a pancake at 9 o'clock at night and then a gin and tonic?" And the dude went like, "Yeah." And I hadn't thought about that being a really cool thing, but that's a fucking cool thing. I want drunk breakfast for dinner.
Yeah, there's a diner around here that's open like 24/7, and they just always have breakfast food and lots of booze. And it's like not good at all, but just the idea is so novel that I still go there.
Yeah, we had a Denny's that was open 24 hours in our small town, and they only did beer, which sucked. So we couldn't get really drunk and then have a moons over my hammy, which is the only thing that I wanted to do. Granted, it was the sober up spot that we all had, so we were drunk there anyways. So Alex Sarakas was the restaurateur who majored in poli-sci, and Guy Fieri said, "That's good. You're trying to get those carrots and celery to get along."
He also says, like, he continues and goes, like, the philosophy of why they should get along.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, do you know what political science is?
Well, he went to UNLV, so probably not. Take that, Las Vegas.
Damn.
I don't know anything about them except the University of Nevada, Reno hates them, so whatever.
I mean, they produced Guy Fieri, so...
I mean, my county actually produced Guy Fieri.
Yeah, that's true. My university, the one notable graduate is the Ace of Cakes guy.
Oh, Duffy? Duff?
Yeah, Duffy. Duff, whatever his name is.
I do my Duff. That's cool. He seems like a nice guy. He's not as bad as the cake boss, who's got like a couple of DUIs, and he got a DUI on a boat, I think.
What?
Yeah,
Like,
apparently if you work at Food Network and have just a show, you have boat money, which is dope. But he got like lost in the fog, and then the Coast Guard had to come after him, and I think he was under the influence. I'm not sure.
I thought what you meant was that he was in a car, like on a ferry while drunk.
No, that would be...
A DUI... A DUI... Is it called driving a boat?
BUI? Boating under the influence? Is that a thing? Because I know a kid in high school that got biking under the influence.
Was it BUI?
I didn't get to see the ticket. I just called... his nickname was Bowie from then on.
I don't think biking under the influence is really that bad, honestly.
I mean, it still sucks for you if you get charged with one.
Oh, yeah.
Because then what else do you do? Because if you get a DUI, they take away your license, right? Do they take away your bike? Do they take away your right to bike? Usually you see people with DUIs go on bikes. Like the marker that I have for people that have had a DUI are people who smoke while riding a bike. Like it's a 10-speed mountain bike that's upright, that's like in the 90s, and they have a cigarette just hanging from their mouth, and I'm like, yep, you had a DUI.
Oh.
It's accurate though. I mean, it's mean, but
I
accurate.
believe it. I don't even know if that's mean. It's just
Yeah. Then Alex actually shows his knife skills. And
he knew some shit about how to cook.
Yeah, he's making like Greek-inspired tender short ribs, and Guy Fieri has some of them, and he goes, "That's capital T tender, buddy."
Yeah.
And it made me very uncomfortable, so that's why I left that silence there, so that our two listeners could just go like, "Ugh." They bake all of their desserts in bread. Uncle Tony? Uncle...
Tommy?
Uncle Tom? Tommy
I
boy?
wrote down some names, but I don't know like who they correspond to, which is this Tommy Costa?
Yeah, it's probably Tommy. Tommy Costa. Uncle Tommy is relegated to the basement, where he makes all of the desserts in bread, and literally all of the desserts in bread are made there. Like, he starts listing pies and desserts, and he gets so fatigued that the big butch boy who lifts the flour starts subbing in for him.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, Guy could not get over the fact that it was in the basement. He kept going like, a bakery in a basement? And they were like, yeah. And then they just, like, felt very uncomfortable and just listed things they make for a very long time. Like, it would not stop.
I feel like I'm in an artist's studio.
Yeah.
Is what he said.
Like, why?
Why?
It's a basement.
To him, bread is art, I guess. Carbs are art. He loves that carbahol. I don't have anything left on my notes. I'm kind of like rattled those off.
I've got one thing.
Okay.
This is at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Guy goes over to a table and he's talking to these people. And they're like, so what brings you Eveready today? And the guy goes, date night. And Guy repeats, date night, and then looks at the girl and goes, he brings you to the Eveready? And it's like, you're here supporting this business. Don't act so disgusted by someone wanting to take a loved one here.
He did try to save it, like, terribly. He floundered at the end. He was like, no, I like it. And then
yeah, that's great.
She chimes in to save him and goes, hey, I'm a cheap date. And then, because he was so nervous, he laughs so aggressively. Yeah. And then Chris Angel mind freaks at the camera.
I stopped watching the episode at that point. But
speaking of Chris Angel, mind freak, I hope you get better. He had a problem escaping from the locks and was passed out. So I hope you get back to freaking those minds soon, Chris.
You can
Big
freak
fan.
my mind anytime you want.
Yeah. Have you still haven't watched anything from Mind Freak, right?
No, I have not. I've only seen like parodies of it.
Okay.
Heard talk.
The real deal is pretty great. There was a summer. It was the summer that I was actually the most depressed, so I'm thinking I'm just going to correlate. But I watched a lot of Mind Freak.
Huh.
He levitates. That's kind of his thing.
We're starting a spin-off podcast.
Called Mind Freaks.
Mind Freaks. We're the freaks.
Called Chris Cherub's Mind Freaks. I still can't think of anything that's better than Mind Freaks.
Weird brains.
Okay, let's get into the reviews, huh?
Yeah. I got some good ones. As long as it took me.
Yeah, I've got some good ones too.
I don't have good ones for A1 Diner, but let's.
Okay, I've got a good one for A1 Diner. If you want me to go into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is from Poppin' D, and he has a picture of Foghorn Leghorn, looking real coy at you. He's got 29 reviews and 5 Yelp friends, which I didn't know there was a friend mechanic on Yelp. That kind of skeezes me out to no other order. 2 stars. This is on March 5th, 2010. My, how things can change. And as we have learned, change ain't all it's cracked up to be. When success makes you lazy, perhaps you were not ready for it. This joint was exceptional the first time we came. Perhaps it was my wife innocently stating that we were there just 2 years ago. Or maybe because our powerlifting waiter was also the town sheriff and mayor. But us out-of-towners were duped into the special leftover of the day. At least I was. Not a surprise, I suppose. What was I thinking? Perhaps talent in the kitchen was out of the question. Perhaps they never ate a true Southwest dish? Or read a recipe for one? An entree labeled Santa Fe stew was priced at $15.95. I expected quite a show. Instead, a paltry compilation of clumpy rice, chunks of overcooked pork, sweet potato, and 24 black beans. Where are the chilies? Where is the roasted corn? Olives, jalapenos, sour cream, chorizo, something, anything, really? At that price, how about a cup of soup? Standard diner practice, small iceberg salad, nothing. A dinner roll was brought to the table when Magnus brought over a bottle of sriracha in an attempt to flavor the dish.
Magnus?
Well, I mean, if you're a powerlifting town sheriff...
Yeah, alright, yeah.
/ mayor, are you going to have any other name than Magnus?
That's a pretty good name.
The wife enjoyed her $8 quarter pounder and fries. She often tells me, "You just don't know what to order." I am beginning to believe her. When the special was pushed a couple of times more that night, I knew I was had. I should have spied on locals and ordered same. Didn't seem to be but just one local. Just coffee, please. I do hope that this night was not indicative of the A1's every day. If so, use your head when ordering, and assume they are not what once was.
Whoa.
This guy was so angry about a goddamn soup that he wanted another soup with, by the way.
Yeah.
So he said a Santa Fe stew, and then he wanted another soup to go along with it. Because it's standard diner practice. He wanted to double up on the soup. Also, their waiter, either this time or the previous time, was a power lifter / town sheriff / mayor.
What does that mean?
I don't know. But this guy had such a bad time that he turned into like a film noir writer.
Yeah.
And he Rain-manned everything about his dish. He counted the beans.
Rain-manned. Not a verb that should be used.
Well, yep, you're right. Okay.
I have a tiny little thing for A1.
Okay.
This is from Kevin M. From Maine. I'll cut to the chase. He's complaining about the waiter being not very attentive, and he says at the end of it, I reiterate, the place was not busy. I left a good tip. I left my glasses on the table and was parked right across the street, period. He had no interest in yelling, "Hey, you forgot your glasses." Which makes me think that Kevin M. walked out and realized he left his glasses and just stood next to his car waiting for this waiter to say something. Like, come on. Come on.
Hello.
How little do you care about me? Come on, come outside and yell at me. You see me waiting here, please.
This is part of the contract. I wrote it on my receipt that I wanted you to yell at me to come back. Another thing that I have is just a garbage person who put 2 stars on because he ate half of an omelet and then realized through eating half of the omelet that it was the wrong omelet, and then told the waitress about it, and she was like, "You ate a lot of it." And he was like, "Well, I want the other omelet." And then she was like, "Okay, well, pay for this one. You now pay for 2 omelets because you ate half of one."
Yeah, if you get through half of a food item, by then you've kind of committed. Like,
yeah. And then
you knew what you were doing. She knew. She fucking knew. She knew she got the wrong one, and she was like, "Well, I'll just eat half of it and then blame them and then make them give me the right one. And
exactly.
That way I can get 2 omelets for the price of 1."
Which is something that a lot of people actually do at restaurants because people are garbage. And then on top of that, somebody from A1 contacted them and said that they would work on it and that it would never happen again. And she put it in her edit that they contacted her, didn't revise the score.
Stars. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she said she went there a long time. Like, she was like, "I go here all the time. I love it. And I'm so glad the owner reached out to me. But I'm still going to leave a single star."
Yep. Piece of shit.
Fucked up.
I've got one for Leo's, but it's also a kind of long one. I like these very eccentric people.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell. But I had a guy called Solomon W. Who... Oh, God. It went away. Control Z. Solomon W. Has 464 Yelp friends.
Woo!
He's got 2,582 reviews.
Jesus Christ. He has more Yelp friends than I have Facebook friends.
He's got more Yelp friends than, like, Dave Navarro had MySpace friends back in the day. Let's see if I can get this into a better, like, spot that doesn't disappear. God damn it. 2 stars from Solomon. I often expect that there cannot be too much good coming from a hole-in-the-wall sort of queue joint, one that sits off of a pretty ghetto road. That is exactly what I found to be true at Leo's. Yes, there was much in the way of nitty-gritty appeal, but you just cannot be a classic queue joint without offering by the pound. The ribs were dry and not entirely tender, both extremely large mistakes in the way of bone meat encasing the internal organs on a swine.
Whoa.
The brisket still held on to some chewiness, and it boasted an extremely bland interior. Those 2 words don't go together, even if you're trying to be ironic. Additionally, there was no bark present, and without smokiness whatsoever, this piece of cattle was terrible. Absolutely terrible. The macaroni salad was chock full of mayonnaise, but not flavor.
Yikes.
The baked beans were far too sweet. The only saving grace on the non-meat things was the cake, which was super moist, and it was free. Sauces are pretty bad, too. The spicy was just far too sticky, and the normal was sweet as candy. You may argue that Leo's has tradition Oklahoma-style smoked animal, and a lot more in a way of character. I say, come try Franklin's with me in Austin. Then you be the judge.
Whoa.
Guy's really weird.
Yeah.
Guy reminds me of like somebody who plays the king at Ren fairs and everybody's just terrified of him.
Yeah.
I've never met somebody who called ribs the encasing of the intestines of a swine.
Yeah, that's a little Hannibal-esque.
Also, this piece of cattle was terrible. Just a real creep. Solomon, you have 464 friends, 2,582 reviews, and one demonstration of you being a creep that I know of so far. I kind of want to... I hope that this guy is one of them Fieri heads who just follows the Triple D experience, because I'm going to be looking up Solomon every single time.
Yeah. I have a short one.
Okay.
For Leo's. This is by Andy R. from Florida. He gave it 3 stars, and I am going to ascribe Andy's review a dumb voice to match how dumb I find this review. How am I supposed to find this place when the address is a P.O. box? I'm driving through on I-40 looking for dinner, read the reviews, and then no street address. Duh! How are you reviewing it if you never got there, Andy? That is your fault! You can't give them a 3-star review because you're bad at looking up information.
Where is the platform 7 3/4? Hogwarts is a bullshit school.
I didn't learn any magic because I never got there.
1 star. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I've got a couple of reviews for Everready, but they're not so great, except one person who's just like, I think Triple D is a piece of shit, but actually this restaurant's okay. But their profile picture is what just makes me so happy. It's a picture of Howard Dean.
Oh.
It's just a picture of Howard Dean. You remember Howard Dean?
No.
He was the 2008 opponent of Barack Hussein Obama for the Democratic National Convention. He was that guy that went, we're going to go to Idaho, and then we're going to take over Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
I looked him up, and all the pictures, he's going, yeah! You know, all of his pictures, yeah.
Yeah. One sound tanked his political career. Basically, they gave him a 3-star review, and they said it was all right.
Oh. I have a few for Everready.
Okay.
I didn't even write down the score for these, because I suck.
Okay.
Lou J, I only wrote down a single sentence. Lou J from Florida, I wrote down a single sentence of his review. He said 4 breakfast, the number 4 breakfast. I have eggs, Benedict. Very good. Now, let me spell out how he spelled.
Okay.
B-E.
All right.
N-I.
No.
D-I-C-K. He had Benedict. And it was very good. I like that a lot.
Do you think that's what people wrote on Benedict Arnold's, like, high school yearbook? Like, his bully just went like, hey, what's up, Benedict? Stop calling me that! Oh, my God.
Yeah. I also took note of a review by a Mr. Police Lives Matter from South Carolina.
Oh, off to a good start.
I'll just read, it's a long one. I'll just read my favorite part from it. He says, the, in parentheses, heavy set girl that was supposed to be checking people out was sitting at the bar eating nacho chips, and I heard her call someone a stinky old fart.
I need to start calling people stinky old farts. Yeah. That's so funny to me.
Yeah.
I wonder. I mean, Police Lives Matter is probably this stinky old fart to which she was recalling, right?
Yeah, just so disgruntled. I'm assuming he. I shouldn't ascribe pronouns, but your name is Police Lives Matter. I don't care about you. Every person, all of the employees they talk about in this review, they like mention what they look like, but just like a single feature. Like, I was greeted by a girl, long dark hair. Like, what?
Well,
what is the point of that? Like, get her name or something.
They don't do haircuts in New York. I don't know if you know about that. Once you get one haircut, it's kind of it. Yeah, it's well, you can actually get a haircut. It's much like in Fallout, where you just have to find the right person to do it. You just have to find somebody that can reshape your entire face for just one haircut. It's very difficult there. I do have, because we have the tendency to do bad reviews because the people that Yelp in itself is either 5-star or 1-star. It's very difficult to give 4 stars, 3 stars, because people aren't going to write reviews unless they're fucking crazy people. Mm-hmm. But this guy just seemed pretty all right. His name is Ryan H. He's from Cohoes, New York. Cohoes, New York. 5 stars, and he updated his review. 11 years ago, I was the first to review the Eveready, and I stand by my 5-star review. I have definitely visited the Eveready more than any other restaurant in my life, possibly twice as many times as whatever holds second place. The place is phenomenal. Everything is made on site. They even make the cherry Coke, for Christ's sake. The French fries are the best that either my wife or I have ever had. I feel confident ordering anything off the menu. The retro decor, it is just the diner perfected. My ideal restaurant. Anyone who gives it less than a 4-star review, I'm sorry, we can't be friends anymore.
Damn.
Yeah.
Huh.
There was another that I don't remember the name of the person for the Eveready. Like, it just caught my eye as I was scrolling for like these weird people. Mm-hmm. Somebody described their waitress as down to earth.
Oh.
Which to me is a little weird. I've never had a lofty waitress.
Yeah, just like a very haughty waitress. It's like, what do you want?
Oh, you're going to have that? The Reuben. Your cholesterol looks a little high.
Yeah. I have one more from an EC, just the letter E over and over and over, and then C. From New York. It was a cold winter day, so my friend and I believed this restaurant would suffice based on their past performance. As this evening began, I was extremely delighted by the taste of my hot cocoa, as it seemed to be of the utmost highest quality, and this left me in pure excitement while waiting for my meal.
We are on a caprice.
However, upon receiving my dish of fettuccine alfredo, which I was told would have vegetables in it, I was appalled by the absolute travesty, which was mushrooms. I mean, who the fuck puts mushrooms in fettuccine alfredo?
Wow.
Do not even get me started on the $3 I was once charged for a small petri dish of guacamole. And then EC returns to a previous point. Really? Mushrooms and fettuccine alfredo? And if you were about to believe it would not get any worse, it was also accompanied by green peppers.
This was an
absolute perversion in regards to culinary performance and standards. 5 out of 7 would go back.
What?
5 out of 7 would go back.
Oh, what? What?
Right?
So
what does that mean?
Okay, so picking the minutia of Howard Dean, I figured out the reason why I cut and paste their review. They said the menu is overpriced. Diner food for 4 people, 2 of which are eating off the kids' menu. I hope to God that they're kids. With no drinks ordered, other than water, should not be north of $40. That's nuts. So you're telling me $10 per person is insane?
That's crazy.
Insane?
Where do you eat? Where do you eat?
Less than $40. for 4 people. Also, where do you eat where you are allowed a child's menu if you're not a child? I'm hoping to God that it was a kid, because they said the kid's burger was charred black on one side, chicken. So hopefully the kid's just this weird foodie child. Actually, I hope that's not the case, because I can't think of anything that's worse than a foodie child.
Yeah, have you seen Junior MasterChef? Those kids could go fuck themselves. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it.
I'm over it. Bring back the blind girl. I want to watch Gordon ASMR his eat experience with her food.
I watched a video of Gordon Ramsay's child recently, also. Very, very creepy little bastard. Do not watch. He was just like, Papa, can we have fried chicken every night? And Gordon Ramsay was like, no, son, that's sometimes food.
You'll be a fat cunt. You cheeky little bugger. And he starts clapping and running around the kitchen. My only impression of Gordon Ramsay is swearing and clapping.
Yeah.
So we've got some fan mail, and there's one that's just really creepy. So I'm not going to do that till next episode because we're running a little long. Shocker.
Yeah.
This is art from a person that we got fan mail from. I'm going to send it to you via Facebook Messenger.
Oh.
This comes from... I want to give this person's... fangirling. I'm going to give this woman's Instagram out. It's at taylor.trout on Instagram.
Someone made this?
She painted it.
What?
After binging on all of our podcast episodes, which
Holy
is
shit.
fucking terrifying to me. She gave our podcast a 10 out of 10 review.
That is insane. That's a nice painting.
It's a nice painting. And she water splashed it like a professional, watermarked it like a professional.
Yeah.
I'll post it on her Twitter and I guess give Instagram credit. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, but it's nice. It had nice things to say. So thank you very much. At taylor.trout on Instagram. We have erotic fiction, but I don't want to get into that. Yeah. So much.
I like, keep it a teaser. Keep me teased.
Yeah. This person is so upset about writing at us with this fan fiction that they don't want us to give their real name. So,
yeah, no, that's understandable.
Yeah, real dirtbag stuff. So I just want to thank all the dirtbags out there for listening to our podcast and creating this art.
Thanks for keeping it filthy, you creep.
Yeah, keep it gutter, my friend.
Keep it gutter. I'm about to get a stick and poke tattoo tonight.
So thanks very much for listening to this garbage pile of just two of us. We'll probably record more. I think Jennifer's coming back next month, so you'll only have to deal with 4 more of these. Probably 6 more of these. We're gonna try to do episodes every week again, because I was in Italy along with Jennifer, and I got lazy, and my fault, my bad. Thank you very much for your continued listening. At Just Guy Things. Nope, that's not right. At Fietti Tales. A much better name for this podcast, but because I bought a domain name, and I've got a strict 1 domain name a year rule. Otherwise, I would just be buying stupid shit. We kept Just Guy Things, 'cause memes. Thank you very much to Sun Club for our outro.
Yeah, Sun Club. I went to a diner today, and the guitarist from Sun Club works there, and he turned me away. He said leave. They were just out of ingredients, he said. It sounded made up, but I still love you, Sun Club. But I want to go to that diner.
Let him in,
Yeah, let me in, Sun Club.
please.
Thank you for your music. Please let me in.
Yeah, like, we like music, but food is also pretty good. We're one of those young clientele that is interested in food.
Yeah, it felt very I was like, oh, I do a podcast kind of about diners. I'm at a diner, and the band that let us use their music for my podcast about diners is here. Like, 2 of them work there. I was like, this is going to be great. And then they were like, we don't have any ingredients. And I was like, what?
How are people eating here? Do they bring outside food in?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to bring outside food into a diner.
Yeah.
And then thank you to the Aquabats for our intro. It's Pizza Day.
Amazing.
It's amazing that we got 2 really rad bands to give us their music for free.
People were actually fans of let us use their music, and that's great.
Yeah, so if you're trying to do a podcast, quick pointer, just grovel or know them in person. And
Just like message them and be like, hey,
yeah, just get it in print.
I'm doing something stupid. Help me out.
So that when they sue you, you can just show an email and the judge will still be like, this means nothing. It's not a contract at all. And then you go like, oh, shit, I don't know how that works. And then they'll ask for money from you for damages, and you're like, nobody listened, so can we really infringe upon your property rights?
Yep.
This has been Lawyer Talk with Matt Cons. David Corsi on the other end, thank you for your legal advice. I need to get better at ending these.
Yeah, what else?
Nothing. Twitter, hey at just guy. No, is it hey at just guy things?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's hey at just guy things. .money to send us your fan mail, your fanfics.
Please send us your fanfic. Send us your art. Send us pictures of your dog.
Send us pictures of your dog. Send us pictures of your dog dressed as Guy Fieri. I really want these dog Fietis.
Send us pictures of your dog dressed as Guy Fieri. Actually, send us videos of your dog dressed as Guy Fieri and make your dog eat spaghetti. Because I think Guy Fieri eats spaghetti kind of like a dog anyway, so...
Guy, also, check out for my new children's book, Guy Fieri Eats Spaghetti. It's going to be dropping December 2018.
Aw, cute.
Yeah, it's perfect for friends and family, children that you hate, children that you love. And ciao. Ciao, hounds.
Bye!